Hey, what's going on YouTube? Crobat for the win here today with GBA match number 1, aka Global Battle Association. Check out the link in the description for this week's Pokemon stats and for wins and losses of each team. Now if you don't know what GBA is, it's basically a mix of sports and Pokemon. We keep records and stats and all kinds of other fun things. We're limited to 11 Pokemon that we can use, but you can find more info about that in some other videos, links in description, and of course on the website. Now this was a pretty solid match versus Tom of the GBA, owner and coach of the San Jose Sharpedos. Now remember, I'm the LA Nido Kings, so that's the team you want to support. For my team, I selected Jolteon, Mega Aggron, Gliscor, Gardevoir, Gengar, and Gyarados. For his team, he selected Sharpedo, Scizor, Starmie, Mandibuzz, Ferrothorn, and Hydreigon. It's going to be a tough match. I have no fire types in this team to take on Ferrothorn and Scizor. Will I be able to do this? This is game number 1. We're going for the first win of the GBA, since this is the first match in GBA history, actually. Let's jump into it and see. It's going to be an epic one. I just know it. Alright, I start out with my Jolteon, and I know that thing has to be Scarved because he sent it out first, and, well, it means it's faster. So he just goes for the U-turn. He probably thinks I'm going to switch. I get the Intimidate off with Gyarados, as I know I can take any move from that thing anyways. He then goes into Ferrothorn, which is really bad. I go for the Thunder Wave because I'm going to just hope for hacks this match. You know what? That might be a little cheap, but you know what? I get it right there. There's a little bit of hacks. Here, I'm attempting to go for the Dragon Tail, but I miss, and he gets to set up his rocks in the process. Now I go for it again, and of course, he gets Power Hacks again. Sure, why not? Iron Barb's not really a big deal. I just really wanted to get that thing out of here. He gets Dragon Tailed out into Sharpedo. He then immediately switches and goes back into Ferrothorn. The thing I'm scared of is because this thing, like I said in the intro, I don't have any fire types. It completely walls my team. I have to just wear this thing down. First I have to start by getting rid of its leftovers. I'm going to go into Gliscor, hopefully to knock off its leftovers. First I'm going to set up a sub, hoping that he'll go for the lead sheet, and I actually predicted correctly. Lol, he gets a useless miss. Didn't really matter. I do get the knock-off off. Knock-off off. Ha. Pretty funny. Not really. But he gets the Power Whip off here. He gets a crit, which breaks my sub. Not sure if the crit mattered. I mean, maybe I could have survived one hit, but it doesn't really matter because he's going to switch on out of there, going to Mandibuzz. I set up another sub because I was trying to test to see if I could just maybe go for some Earthquakes or something. Unfortunately, that didn't quite work out as he switched, and I only have Earthquake as my other attacking move, so I'll just go for a knockoff just because. And he actually does my job for me, because I really wanted to switch out, but I was like, yeah, I'm fine to sub, may as well go for a knockoff. Knockoff is Rocky Helmet, I get Whirlwinded into Aggron, which is my Mega for GBA. Not a great matchup, I really don't like it, so I'm going to switch out into Jolteon. Of course, that's not the worst thing, because I can just get some free damage on this Ferrothorn. All it is Leech Seed, and that's not the most reliable recovery. Here I'm going to go into Gyarados, because I figure if he has the Thunder Wave, for whatever reason, Gyarados is the thing to be paralyzed. Also, I'm like, you know, maybe he can do something against this thing, because it does have Dragon Tail. No guarantees, but, oh well, the Leech Seed kind of forces me to switch. I go back out into Jolteon, more or less for the free Volt Switch damage. That's kind of all it is. He gets Power Hacks, but it doesn't really matter all that much. I just go Volt Switch on out. I'm going to go into Gardevoir. Now, this is my only chance to take out this Ferrothorn. This is literally my only chance. I actually trace Iron Barbs, which is actually going to be kind of funny later. He gets the Leech Seed off, which is kind of bad. I mean, this thing is pretty low HP, so it's not going to be the end-all. But I get the Focus Blast off, and through its negative 477% accuracy, I actually hit. For once in my life. Now, here was kind of a stupid play on my part. Not Stupidest Play of the Year award, because I get over half damage and a special defense drop. But I forgot that this thing's fairy typing allowed it to not take super effective damage from the Pursuit, that's why I stayed in. But I forgot. And, well, at least I get Iron Barbs off with that Bullet Punch. That's pretty cool. Here going to Aggron, Mega Aggron, because it's Mega Evolving. I know I can take the Scizor on really well after Mega Evolving, and I go for the Thunder Wave on the off chance he decided to switch. I mean, I knew even if he had the superpower or something like that, it would still do a lot of damage. Anyways, of course my Earthquake doesn't KO, but it does have the Paralyze right there. It gets paralyzed the turn he goes for Bullet Punch, and I just go for the Iron Head on the off chance he decided to switch. It would do more damage against a lot of things. Here, he goes into Starmie. I don't have a safe switch, to be honest. Even Gyarados, because that thing might have Thunderbolt. Here I'm going to go into Jolteon, which is obviously going to scare that Starmie away. He goes in Hydreigon. I'm completely okay with that, because Volt Switch is going to do a pretty sizable amount of damage. No complaining there. Now I go into Gengar. I know I can beat this thing out. Get the Dazzling Gleam off, which is a little bit uncommon on Gengar, but this Gengar runs it. I'll probably change it for future games. Now here, I don't really want to switch out, so I'm just going to get some damage, basically, just by going for the Dazzling Gleam. I didn't think Gengar was going to be that useful, so I figured I may as well do that. That, plus this Thunderbolt, should KO the Mandibuzz, which would have otherwise been really annoying this game. Here I get a crit. It didn't matter. I calced it after. It would have done about 70%. Now he goes into Sharpedo. See, the problem here is I was predicting a Protect, and I wasn't sure if this thing was going to carry Aqua Jet or be physical. I had no idea. Figured my Gyarados could take both physical and special moves, especially after the Intimidate. He gets the Ice Beam off, which is going to do a little bit, I guess. And then I Unthaw after he gets a Freeze, so I guess that's kind of cool. I get the Thunder Wave off, which is crucial to this match. That is absolutely crucial, because now my Jolteon almost guaranteed will be able to outspeed this thing and go for a Volt Switch or Thunderbolt or whatever. Now I just get the Dragon Tail off just to get it out of there and maybe do something, some shenanigans, because reset its speed boost, basically. His Jolteon actually goes for the Ice Beam, and I still live that. That only does 40 damage. I get the Earthquake off just for some damage. That's alright. I mean, Jolteon has this game, if I play my cards right at this point. Ice Beam, unfortunately, is going to KO Gyarados. I mean, Gyarados, even though it got no points in this match, it actually is -1 because it died. That's still quite okay, because it still did work this match. It really did. I have to switch into Jolteon, I get a KO on Starmie, and then a KO on Sharpedo. So Jolteon is for sure the MVP of this match, gets a +3 on the day, and once again, other Pokemon did some work, and there'll be full stats in the description. As I said, I'll probably post a picture or something crazy. MVP of the day, Jolteon. Ruining lives in this video with a +3, as I said, and it never even fainted. You saw it, it got the last KO, which was pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to do questions of the day for this video, since this is a GBA video and we don't need it to be too long, but be sure to rate, comment, subscribe if you like this video. If you're looking for more LA Nidokings stuff in the future, be sure to also subscribe. I might even make t-shirts, I don't know, I'll have to look into it. Once again, I guess that's pretty much it. Rate, comment, subscribe, bro bats. Peace out.